Welcome to a war selection free for all. And this match, kind of interesting, but I did get my 2 new decor, which I gambled, my hard tech points away. But you know what? It is better than spending real money on that shit. Rather, or sorry, it's better to spend tech points on it than real money. That's all I gotta say. So at least I got 2 decor, and I am just loving it. Look at it. Look at the gingerbread. Look how happy it is. Nice. Happy gingerbread man. Because I've spent 10k points. You were worth 10k points. I hope you know that. It was worth the 20k points I spent on this shit. No, it wasn't. But anyways, here we have a standard free-for-all match. It's kind of interesting right now. You see, 3 on this side, 3 on this side, and I am by myself in the back line in my own little corner right here, which is actually very, very good to have myself in this tight little corner away from everyone else. This spot would be way better to have, but I kind of like it considering all the problems I would have to go through. Because even if I did have this side, I would then have to deal with purple, and then whoever would be here. But yeah, all things considered, it's kind of good because at least I can be able to, at least in between these two, and it'd be easier to just take out one guy here, then move on over here, take out the next guy. Right, so we're gonna skip time a little bit. I do my standard formation, standard spearman formation. I see this guy quits, so well. I don't like it when people quit in free-for-alls. I don't know why people quit in free-for-alls. Like, do they just not like their position or something? Is their position that bad that people just quit in free-for-alls? I don't understand. But anyways, I take this guy out fairly easy. Again, he has virtually no defenses whatsoever. He had some cavalry, and some garrisoning force, but nothing that could pose any real threat. So yeah, move on. And while that's going on, I also get a mass amount of spearmen, heavy spearmen. Again, mass amount of those just to prepare, so that way when this force returns, it can be easier to snuff out the other force. Now, red also quit, or I'm sorry, red actually lost because of purple's light knights, and you're gonna see these guys. Purple had me scared for a little bit. He really did. But you're gonna see later why. This guy puts up more of a fight. As you can see, he has, I have more forces than he does, but his forces can constantly be spawned in. So instead of going straight for the temple, I use my hand rams to immediately go and destroy all of his productions, because I know he can just keep producing units. And as you see, despite him seeming to whittling me down, had I just not taken out the production, eventually he would have killed me or ruined my force. But luckily these were also fully upgraded units, so it did buy me the appropriate time that I needed. Unfortunately, he quit too. And I went ahead and finished this guy off. Meanwhile, purple over here is fighting these guys, and I gotta admit, both of purple and red over here. I'm sorry, yeah, purple over here, like this guy, and red, they had no military whatsoever. So this guy with Light Knight just easily steamrolled his way through. Meanwhile, I had probably had to defeat the 2 hardest players, that that were closest to me. So honestly, this guy had the same idea that I did. And as you see right here, this guy, oof, he honestly thought he could defeat me too. Or he honestly thought he could probably rush me with these light knights. I didn't know what he had, but it wasn't until he spawned in or he showed up with these light knights that I realized who took out all these people. Yeah, and he tries to come in. He goes to destroy the tower, which is unfortunate. He also kills a lot of my workers in the process. He chases them down. But this does not deter me, despite the fact I lost quite a few workers in my iron. Because I come right over here with my remaining forces, and I just ruin this guy's day. So it's basically a nice trade-off what we got here. Now, unfortunately, I wasn't paying too much attention. My attention was split between the two peoples, between my base and my forces. And honestly, the forces were meant to just hold him back, make his light knights pull back to his base. And again, I did manage to do quite a bit of damage to him. Killed quite a few workers. Not as many as I don't think he killed as many as he did, but you know, it was enough to pull him back. Plus, it was enough, gave me more than enough time to then solidify my defenses. So you see, I built 3 towers here. Got some stables, and I started building a melting house to get some cannons up. I also got some shooting ranges, so that way it'd be perfect to deal with those light knights. I would actually have some range to deal with the light knights, because really the only thing Asia has that could properly hurt the heavy units of Europe is the archers. Really, it is all that it is. But right here, as you can see too, I started transferring a bunch of workers over here. Now a lot of them got attacked by bears, but none of them died, thankfully. And I did. Okay, one died. I sent my spearmen over here to take out the wild animals. Meanwhile, this guy's, you know, holding himself back. He was getting some hussars, and was solidifying his base. He doesn't have a lot of workers, surprisingly. My economy is doing way better. Let's see, Taki. Yeah, my economy is doing way better than his is. Right here, I did have a force here that did go and see. I was trying to hopefully lure his cavalry into my base, but also to see this, also to scout. But unfortunately, that didn't work out as I wanted it to. So again, there's gonna be a nice lull in the fighting, for the most part. This continues, but right here, I managed to build a dock here right on the edge of his base. Now, at first, I thought I could find his temple right here. I would have the range for it, to destroy his temple with attack ships. But I had 2 minor problems. One, I did not have the population to spawn the attack ships fast enough. Plus, I couldn't actually see his temple at this point. Like, really, I saw the entire map except his temple. There was the only thing I could not see, and I knew it was here. I just couldn't see it. I couldn't find out where it is. So we're gonna go Just give him a little more time. And again, this guy's... I probably could have ended this guy with a full-fledged military force, but I was having some problems on my own, mainly food problems, as you can see. Plus, those Light Knights and Hussarians, while they were, I guess, well, weak, they... well, okay, I'm gonna phrase that, not weak. They would do more damage to me than I would be able to do to them. That makes sense. I did send in the pikemen, some pikemen to then raid him. At the same time, I sent in my Mamelukes, full-on Mamelukes, who didn't take out his workers. So I basically forced his military here, and I kept making them run around as in like a wild goose chase. But unfortunately, I had another slight problem, and that problem was the fact that I don't know what it is with the Mamelukes, but they don't. I was gonna say they don't. I'm just right. No, I was gonna say they don't do enough damage. They do a lot of damage, but for some reason they keep getting stuck. Like they don't attack when you want them to attack. They keep getting stuck when you don't want them to get stuck. Like they'll be right next to the enemy, but not actually kill the enemy or attack the enemy. But regardless, I've launched a full, well, I guess technically it wasn't a full-fledged, like, a raid at him. And his Hussarian just got shot by his howitzer. I kept running around my Mamelukes, hoping to find something, but they just all died. It was okay. The raid was semi-successful. I accomplished somewhat of what I wanted to. I killed a small amount of his workers. Or enough workers to give me time. Now, the one thing I did know was that he went Poland. And I see these attack ships here. You know, I spawned in some attack ships. And, yeah, right here, I knew he went Poland. I realized I would have a major problem if I didn't take him out fast. Because the moment you get, the moment Poland gets enough tankets, you're basically done. Tankets are still way more powerful. They're still way powerful than, well, most tanks, really. Like they're mainly used en masse, but they're still a powerful units. Now, right here again, I launched another cavalry assault, but that was just weak. That was just basically to see what he had and to kill off some of the units. I see the long line of dead. This was mainly just to find his temple. I literally could not find his temple. Like, I knew it was somewhere over here or somewhere over here. I literally could not find his temple, and I was hoping the archers could, and also I was hoping to take out some of his workers. Now, right here, I realized there was no way in hell I would be able to beat this guy head on. And then now I'm looking at the replay. I realize now I could have definitely taken him on head on. I had way more units than he did. I had the snipers and I had light cannons. Had I just launched a full-fledged assault on him, I definitely could have won. But I wasn't going to take any risk. It was just too dangerous to take any risk right now. Because I had so little information. And plus, I was too afraid to just stretch my supply lines like that. So, I decided on plan B. Do the one thing I know he did not have. And that was anti-air. I massed myself some nice balloons. Nice balloons. And I knew, again, when you go anti-air, or I'm sorry, when you go air, any balloons, it only works once. It will only ever work once. Not, well, before it used to work all the time, but now it only works once. And the reason is because if it fails the first time, or even if you do successfully do enough damage the first time, they're gonna be prepared for it. They're gonna have soldiers. They're gonna have anything that could possibly take down anti-air. And right here too. Okay, right here. This is my final assault with balloons. I sent in my horses. I finally found this temple. I realized, okay, here's this temple, and here's the balloon, and here are my balloons. I'm like, okay, right here, right now, I could defeat him. So I didn't launch my full-on assault. And right here, he pulls all his forces back because he thinks that, you know, the tankettes or something could, you know, shoot the balloons, but in reality they couldn't. And yeah, right here, he just quits. I obliterate them with just these balloons, and tank he destroy. He just quit. So balloons really do, if you can sneak attack them, they really do work. And if you can force them to build anti-air, that's even better. Or technically, defeating them the first time is better. The second time, if you can't defeat them, but you know you can ruin them by building balloons, and this mainly because they're gonna have to build anti-air and turrets and a bunch of just everything that's anti-air. You could then easily drain their supplies, constantly drain their supplies into these structures that they don't really need because you're only gonna do it once. So even if this assault failed and he built tons of anti-air, it would have completely drained his economy. So yeah. Unfortunately, it's kind of a boring thing he quit, but it is good to know that any form of air power can just completely decimate an opponent, or just make or just break someone, because they know they can't do anything about it. And Poland is one of those countries that don't have any anti-air capabilities. I mean, they have anti-air guns, sure, but all their units cannot, like, none of their special units can deal with anti-air. None of them. Speaking of which, I've never seen a Polish player use saboteurs. At least, I'm sorry, let me phrase that. I've never seen them use saboteurs against me, now that I think of it. He probably could have used saboteurs. He really could have. Oh yeah, I was also moving my forces up. But thinking about it, he probably could have used saboteurs. Maybe not against, you know, these towers or something, but he could have just definitely, if he scouted out the area properly, he could have definitely came all the way around, you know, my back over here. If he just, you know, moved all the way back here, he probably, you know, placed some bombs, destroyed them. Had he come over here, which actually was the main reason, you know, I was pumping so many workers here, because I thought, you know, the Light Knights would constantly keep coming and constantly, you know, harass my workers. So that's why I had a bunch of units here. Had he just scouted the area properly, he definitely could have won. And speaking of which, I just realized I have a primitive worker here. He's right here. Look at him. What is he doing here? Oh, well, I expensed some of my food issue. But yeah. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, and I'll see you all.